basically bore you to sleep. Today, I finished my work deadline. My work deadline is done. It's finished. Pretty happy about that. Tomorrow I will put together the bits and pieces I need to do for my big video. And that called on Sunday. It has been a strange week, both seemingly too long but also too short. For me, it has been a strange week. Sending my deadline in today was a little bit daunting. Finally handed over control to somebody else. You've done everything that you can do. Now it is in the hands of somebody else. To deem if it's good enough. That's always daunting. One thing that I have been doing this week, whilst I've been finishing up this deadline, making sure everything's perfect, making sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, I found a channel on YouTube, quite by chance, that is just all about football or soccer, football, soccer. And mainly a excellent but also frustrating computer game called Football Manager. Insert year of Football Manager. I always loved this game, but you just basically manage a football team, like any football team, buy players and manage the finances, stadiums, training, loans, everything, staff. And this week I've been binge watching this channel, picked up quite a few drinks, and as a result, my team, Brighton and Hove Albion, were relegated last season from the Premier League. I was appointed manager with only 6 games left of the season. They wanted me to save them from promotion. Those guys couldn't score. They couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. The previous manager, whoever it was, decided to buy a striker who was afraid of scoring. myself. Sold the striker who was afraid to shoot. Sold him for I think it was 40 million. 40 million. I sold him to Ajax. Sold him to Ajax. Sold him. I sold him to Ajax. And I used that money to buy some players because we were in dire financial straits. We were in big trouble. I had to get rid of a few more big players who weren't doing anything. Big players who weren't doing anything just to relieve the budget, the wage budget. It was touch and go, especially when we lost our first game of the season this season, and I was thinking, you know what? Oh boy, I'm gonna get sacked. I'm gonna get sacked. I'm gonna get sacked. But despite our mainly win ratio, because I'm not playing in a way that the board like, they're still not sure about me, despite the fact that we are top of the league and doing pretty well. And we, was that a disaster, complete disaster, and it remains to be seen if it doesn't continue. When my assistant manager was poached away, seduced away by a rival club because he was very disloyal, and he went, I'm going with the money, screw you guys. That wasn't very nice of him, because at that point everything was going great, things were going fine, we were top of the league, we were flying, and then boom, he's gone to a rival club, and I'm stuck without an assistant manager. It took me a couple of weeks to find a replacement, and nobody applied who was as good as him. So my replacement, the replacement that I got for him, isn't as good. He's not as good. But he was the best of the bunch. He was the best of the bunch. Best of the bunch. Best of the bunch. And he has a big, quite a big scout presence. Quite a big scout presence in North Africa. So days, and for the last couple of weeks actually, was I began watching some Minecraft ASMR videos. And I've explained this before, I begin watching ASMR Minecraft videos and I begin to get a little bit cocky. I can do this. This looks so easy. And then I pick up the game and it's not like, I don't have the patience. Oh. But this time I was determined to do something. I was determined to do something. So I started a game and I began. And this time, I found the village pretty quickly. There was a time when I started a game and I couldn't find a village. I went through the whole map and I couldn't find a village. There was no village. I went up every mountain, climbed every hill, stood on top of trees, scoured every beach, every jungle, every biodome. I was up and down that map like Christopher Columbus on speed. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I couldn't find a village or a villager. At one point, I did come across one man with a llama, and I hoped that he could lead me to his people, lead me to his people, lead me to his people, take me to your people, take me to your people. I said to him, you, sir, take me to your people, take me to your people. And he looked at me with these dead eyes, wide dead eyes, and yes, he didn't go anywhere. In fact, he began following me, and which was a disaster because I didn't know what I was going. I was following him and he was following me, and we just went around in circles. And I was like, oh, you know what? Enough. You are an idiot, sir. I need to find a village. Well, I got really annoyed and shut the game down because I couldn't find the bloody village in 2 days. There was no village up and down the map. None. And then I started a new map. I know, okay, I started a new map. And this time I found the village almost immediately. It was, oh, okay, so I have a village. And how do I begin? How do I do this? Because, despite watching quite a few Minecraft videos, I'm a noob. I'm a newbie. I'm an amateur. I'm an enthusiastic amateur. Speaking of Minecraft, the French Whisperer, I remember watching some of his Minecraft videos that of towns and full of amazing sculptures and buildings that he and I think either his brother or brother-in-law made together, and it was so amazing. If you ever come across those videos by the French Whisperer, you should watch it because that was the first time that I was introduced to Minecraft as a game. I'd heard of it, but I'd never actually seen it played. And it was amazing. Their buildings and I aspire to do that, but I'm very inept and incompetent. And things in the village were going fine, and then I noticed that the villages were decreasing in numbers, and I'm thinking, okay, this is horrible. Maybe they're out doing something, and I'm just not seeing them, because I'm down in a mine getting stone and this iron and whatever. used to do the harvesting of the vegetables. They weren't there. All that was there was animals roaming around, chickens, pigs, cows, but no villagers. And then, yeah, I'm trying to turn a mountain into a castle, a stronghold to, look over the village and dominate the landscape, dominate the landscape. And I begin. So I'm cutting through this mountain to have it all on one layer so I can build up and also down. And night comes, so I go in to sleep. I wake up the next morning and the monsters are still there. They've used it looks like a ruin of a castle that I've cut into the mountain. They're using it as some kind of stronghold. It looks like they've set up camp and invaded. Like they've conquered my village because they're there not one day. They're there not 2 days. They're there not 3 days. They're there 5, 6, 7 days on a trot, on the run. And there I am, stuck, watching them pace around, march in my castle. They've colonized my castle. After day 7, stuck in this little house, pacing up and down, waiting for night to fall so I can go to sleep, and then wake up and then hope that these monsters will go. But they don't go. Oh no, they march up and down, up and down. They stop. It looks like they're talking to each other, like they're marching in some kind of army. Like they've set up a camp in my castle, and my Minecraft person is there in this village, alone, stuck in this tiny house, watching them take her castle. The sun did burn up one monster, then another monster picked up the rotten meat that was left and began carrying it around the village, around the village like some kind of trophy. It was weird. At one point he stood in the vegetable patch outside the window of the house that my Minecraft person was seeking sanctuary in, just staring through the window at them, like mocking or something. Like, you leave and this is what will happen to you. You leave, then this is what happened to you. I took to Google and I googled, why are my villages disappearing? They've all disappeared. There's nobody left. There's only animals. Animals and monsters. And one of the things it said was, don't destroy a house of a villager. Don't destroy a house. Apparently your approval rating with them will plummet. And guess what I did? I took some items from a house of a few villagers. Just a few, okay? Or it was a bed, okay? Pretty big thing, but okay, it was a bed. sense why everyone had left. They just got really peed off and just bogged off and left me alone with all these monsters. Like, they hated me so much because I had come into their village and basically took over and destroyed their houses. And all that's left now is monsters that won't go away. I logged on last night to play the game, and the monsters are still there. They're still there. It reminds me of when I recited the Raven back in October. They're still sitting and marching in my castle, in my palace. It is a monumental disaster. I had a really cool idea for a ASMR video. I thought that I could mix my love of Celtic myth with ASMR and do some Celtic myths and legends. I thought that would be a really cool idea to do that. That would be a really cool idea. So stories from Irish, Scottish and Welsh legend and history. So I'm gonna do that in the next, say, 2 weeks, I think. I also have been planning and writing I don't know how many facts I'm gonna do. Untrue facts. So instead of like 100 facts about X, it's gonna be like, I don't know, 100 untrue facts. So it's just basically me writing nonsense. It's actually been pretty fun. I've been doing that. You know, now that my deadline's over, I can write that a bit more. But, you know, my main goal is to finish the video tomorrow and then upload it on Sunday. And I really hope that you like it because I had a lot of fun doing it. I love, you know, those kind of videos, and I thought maybe I could, you know, give it something a little bit different, you know. And I found so much interesting information about Kilkenny. It was really interesting. I hope that you like it. It is very long, though. It will be over 1 hour and 30 minutes. The ASMR video will be over 1 hour and 30 minutes, but I don't think it will hit the 2-hour mark. I don't think so anyway. What I'm doing now is basically I've made the bulk of the video, you know, walking around the streets, narration and everything. And now what I'm doing is making like little mini movies, like little mini segments to place in certain spots where about, you know, the history of Kilkenny, the history of Parliament Street, the history of Kilkenny Castle, and special points that we meet, like a brewery that we come across. And I found a really the website for the brewery is so interesting in how they deal with their history. It's really fun, and it also embraces a whole